There once was a man who lived in Babylon named Daniel. Daniel was a man of God who served the Lord with all of his heart, and because of his faithfulness to God, God blessed him with wisdom, so much so that King Darius, who was over all of the empire of Babylon, placed him in a position of authority over all the wise men and sorcerers of Babylon. Now, even though Daniel was in a pagan land full of idolatry, sorcery, and sin, he remained faithful to God. He prayed 3 times a day with the windows of his house open toward Jerusalem, the city where God's temple stood. And one day, some officials were looking through Daniel's window and they saw him praying and worshiping God. And they became very angry and envious of Daniel because he was a man of God. So these wicked advisors went to King Darius and said, "Hey, king, do you know that there is a man under you who doesn't serve you or worship you or acknowledge you as Lord? For there is a Jew whom they have set over the affairs of the province, and he worships and serves only the God of Israel. Now, O king, enact an ordinance that those who worship any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, within your palace, shall be cast into the den of lions." King Darius agreed to this foolish decree, not knowing that it would end up being a trap for himself. When Daniel heard that this law had been written, he went home, and even though he knew that if he continued to pray to God, he would be put to death, he still prayed 3 times a day with the windows of his house open toward Jerusalem. And one of his friends named Shadrach saw Daniel praying and immediately ran to tell the king that Daniel was breaking the law. So the king summoned Daniel and said, "You have been disobedient because you obey these regulations of the Medes and Persians, a decree which I issued and which was established as law. Tell me now, is it true that you pray to another god besides me? Or is it that you serve and worship the God of Israel?" Then Daniel replied to King Cyrus and said, "O king, live forever. My God commanded me to keep his commands, and when I had a petition presented before me, I could not bring my lips to sin before my God. And it was good for me in my own sight to obey the voice of my Lord, rather than your majesty's word." Then the king gave the command that he was to be thrown into the den of lions, and the officials told the king that he must be fed no bread or water for 30 days, and then his body would be thrown into the den of lions to be food for them. And this is what they did. They rolled up Daniel in a scroll and threw him into the den of lions. Then the king returned and looked at the mouth of the den and said, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" When he heard this, he said, "Your God is the God of gods, the Lord of kings and a king of eternal times. Desolations and calamities have come to your empire, but wisdom and might are with your God. And he will establish his kingdom forever, for your kingdom and for all nations." Then the king commanded that they open the mouth of the den. And the same angel of God who shut the mouths of the lions came and opened the mouth of the den, and the king unlocked the chains from Daniel. Now, when the king opened the mouth of the den, Daniel came up, and the keeper of the king's wardrobe was there, and he beckoned with his hand, and Daniel went out without a word. No harm had come to him. And the king gave the command that they were to take these men and cast them into the den of lions. And when he had torn their clothes and made them fall into the den, he said, "You have been hasty against Daniel, who the God of heaven has set apart for himself." And they were immediately torn in pieces in the den. Then the king gave command that the den was to be filled with stones and sealed with a seal until the next day. But at night, the angel of the Lord opened the den again, and Daniel went out. Then Daniel went and told the king and showed him the writing from the angel. And this is what the king did. He issued a decree that it was to be proclaimed throughout all his empire. "Let the people of every nation, kindred, and language know that from henceforth no other gods shall be reckoned with me, nor any father or mother shall be called after the names of the gods of Israel. For it is God of Daniel, who is the living God who endureth forever. And his kingdom shall be of everlasting dominion, and his dominion a dominion of rest. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that cinematic retelling of the Bible story of Daniel in the lion's den. It's a great example of how God can deliver us from our enemies and how we should trust in Him no matter how difficult the circumstances are. Just like Daniel, we may face times of trouble and persecution for our faith, but we can rest assured that God is with us and will never leave us nor forsake us. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button below and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to be notified of our next video. Thank you for watching.